Hi there, Aries. This is your romantic love reading for October 2017. For some reason, I wanted to say July. I don't know why, but in any case, do you have anyone special in July? Well, I got some good feedback from some of you, and I really appreciate it. I want to thank a lot of you that have subscribed, and I just want to say thank you so much. I truly appreciate the likes and the comments, and those of you who I have not gotten back to, I am working on it right now. And if this reading resonates with you, please hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want a private reading, the information will be there in the description box below. So I'm going to go ahead and start to, as I'm shuffling, kind of feel into the energy of Aries. And I did a reading earlier for Aries and for an Aries. So that won't be my guide in my reading, but I got a sense of the general feel of some of you. And perhaps this will tail end from the general reading, and perhaps it won't. I don't know. We'll know when the cards are revealed. Intuitively speaking, I know we're going to talk about romantic love. But I feel there's a few situations I'm feeling. I'm sensing a few possibilities is kind of the thing that's coming up here. I don't read reversals unless it feels right. Okay. So the bottom of the deck, you might have snuck a peek before, is the Fool. So let's take a look at this. Take a little closer look here. You worked hard to have the options that I was sensing before. And in a way, it's kind of been your way or someone else's way of passing judgment. And someone, perhaps a fire sign, is coming in, a fiery energy, little naive, not to be mean, but not the sharpest tool in the shed. It makes you wonder if this is an offering that you want, and this is someone who is trying again and again to get your attention, is what I'm getting here. So you are turning this person down quite a bit. You're not interested. You're waiting on somebody else. You're not fulfilled by that type of union, but eventually you come around here. And I guess that's kind of the play of the Fool, isn't it? Now that's one thing that comes up. Let me read off the cards to you too and show each one to you. So you got the Seven of Pentacles. Then you get Judgment. Then we have the Knight of Wands. Then we have the Four of Cups. Then the Six of Cups. Three of Cups. And then, oh no, sorry, Three of Wands. There's a lot of cups here, buddy. All right, so Three of Wands and Eight of Cups and Two of Cups. All right. I keep breathing from my chest, and I keep kind of, some of you have been waiting for a long time, and I really hope you haven't been waiting in vain. Either way, you will end up with Two Cups. We'll go deeper into it later. But those of you in a relationship, stop judging each other. Some of you are judging each other for certain habits or things that you didn't think your mate was going to have, but they have them. You know, you chose to love them. So if you don't love them and you like them and you're realizing, like, I don't like this stuff, then perhaps you need to let it go, you know, if it's not working. This is for some of you. I'm not saying go and break up with someone. I'm just saying that if you're going to pick at someone and ask them to be something they're not, perhaps they're not for you. People are going to love you in the best way they know how. And your job is just to open new doors of how to love by loving them in return. So if you go from that energy, for sure, you know, there's a different momentum there. But if you're like, you need to be this way and you need to be that way and I want you this way and I want you that way, that's like asking someone to have magical powers and give you everything that you want. So I think either you or someone else, that these expectations, and I'm feeling literally the word judgment, like there's just too much judgment, and it's kind of a bit of a mercy. I mean, some of you inside, perhaps you're doing this to yourself, there's just like a feeling of mercy, like please just like, can we like let this go and not you know, wade in the waters and shame ourselves. Like, why? I can't that's why there's this shallow breathing. So if you can pay attention to where you're breathing and breathe from your stomach, not your chest. So I see someone, regardless, one of you is going to, you know, try and be the one that resolves this situation. Like, something that, if you're a couple, something you've been working on and trying not to pass judgment on your mate. A fiery energy might come through that brings you kind of as like a jolt, is what I feel. But you're still not responding. Eventually you do. Paying a little hard to get in under the roof with your mate. Then there's waiting again and kind of this feeling of discontentment. But you celebrate with the Two of Cups. So let's go ahead and pull some more cards. I'm going to use the Thoth deck to clarify. Oh, I don't take poppers unless it like screams, hey, take me, put me there, I need to explain something. Then I do it. That's exactly how I read, by the way. I'm kidding. I don't read that. Like, I don't hear things auditorily. Let's see here. So judgment. That's alright. That was pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna ask Knight of Wands, all the cups, and yeah, let's see how it ties in with the wands here. Like, what's going on with the waiting for some ships to come in, and you're kind of, I feel this, like, you know, when you are waiting and there's like a pole or a stop sign, some sort of something you can lean on or hold, and you're just kind of holding on to that. You can't see me really, but you can hold on to this railing, holding on to a pole, and you're just kind of like, he's grasping onto his wand, and I feel like, and he's looking at the boats, and I kind of feel like some of you have this energy of, oh God, when is my ride gonna come and pick me up? I've been waiting forever. And you're just like holding on to this post and just, you know, on your last patience, basically. So there's some kind of a interesting struggle, and what it's showing me is that you got 8 of cups though, and then you get 2 of cups, so you get 10 of cups. And over here you have 4 of cups, and 6 of cups. So you're getting double. You're getting 20 cups here if we're gonna break it down here. So some of you are not acknowledging that you might have a good thing here. I know, right? I'm supposed to be on your side, but I am, because you might miss out on something that's good. I don't really. All right, well, I'm just going to shuffle here. I'm going to shuffle. Oh, I might take that one. I felt like that got pushed out of the deck without my need. Okay. I'm going to go under the desk right now. Yeah, okay. That explains some things. Some of you are dealing with... So we have 2 of wands here. More wands. So I feel like this restlessness, this irritation, this wanting more is dominating your overall sight of what's going on, perhaps. Or this is the other person, okay? So that popped out, but I'm going to throw it back in. Or no, I'll leave it on the side here. I'll leave it on the side. Because I feel that there are 2 ways in which you can go about this. You can let it dominate you, or you can flip it around and let this Fool energy be, you know what? That can't really take my energy right now. I'm going to just go ahead and be free and know that just like the sun comes up every morning, it reminds me the universe has got my back. God's got my back. Whatever you believe in, something higher than you, you've got your own back. So you can't have an expectation for someone else because you're not happy with something about yourself. Fix that. Well, there's no such thing as fixing a person. So instead of trying to fix, perhaps accept it. Accept that person. Accept you. Whenever we want someone to change, it's because there might be something inside of you that you want to change. And regardless, there's always a tiny bit at least that you might want to change. If there's a large piece that someone else wants to change. We mirror each other, and when you're living in close proximity with someone and you share your life with someone, you have more of the ability to push each other's buttons, but you also have the gift of being able to reflect back and forth. And with that reflection, you catch things that you don't like in your mate. But there are little pieces of that also belong to you. Hence why you fell in love in the first place, right? So get back to that Fool when you first fell in love, when you first started to feel things for this person. And look at them through those eyes, not through expectations. And think about where that comes from too. Did someone tell you that there's a certain criteria, or were you brought up? Some of you, as it comes out, this is just how, whatever needs to be said. So some of you have learned a great deal of how you expect things from the disappointments perhaps you've gotten from your parents or from whoever was your guardian growing up, your first primary female example, your first primary male example. So, all right, that just needed to be said, that there needed to be some focus there, some gentleness there, acknowledgement, and perhaps working through of things, before expecting someone to be something that, it's like some of you want someone to be double, you want them to be complete because it's hard for you to complete yourself. I'm sorry if that's a little rough, but that's kind of true with everyone. You gotta be able to love yourself, just like a kid falls down. Let's say you tell a kid, don't go over there, you're going to trip. Don't go over there, there's a step right there, and you're going to trip, because just be careful. Kid does it anyway, they trip and they fall. You're stern with them, like, what were you doing, buddy? Why'd you do that? Then you tell them, like, I explained to you, tried to tell you here that that wasn't a great idea for you to be doing that. And then the kid, you give them a hug, you give them a little kiss on their boo-boo, and they try and understand, hopefully, that, you care about them. That's why you're watching out for them. So that's that's an expression of love, right? So can you be that way to yourself? Can you do that for you? Because once you do it for you, the other person will mirror it back to you. All right? It'll be mirrored back to you. So, okay. All right, well, Knight of Discs, Princess of Discs, the Moon, Cruelty, Love, Two of Cups. This happens in my readings. You can watch the other ones. This always happens. I get double card, like the same card. So that happens. And that's great. That's why I love synchronicity, and I love the way the divine works here. Yeah, I think after this new moon, perhaps the next cycle, there'll be this person coming around again. Those of you who are single, they're going to come around again to ask you out or to get your attention. So sorry about it, or maybe think about it. I don't know. Either way, some of you are waiting on someone else. Just know you're not waiting in vain. And this moon, this time when I look at it, it always gives me a different feeling and a different emotion when I look at it. This time when I look at the moon, I see him looking at you going, please don't blow it. Please just, get it together a little bit. This could be for the other person. But the moon's like, come on. Be a little grateful. You got something good coming to you. It's coming together. Don't you worry. You got your 2 cups. It's taking a little time. You don't believe me? Here it is again. 2 of Cups, top deck, right here. All right. Now, what came with your 8 of Cups? You got the 9 of Swords. Cruelty. All right. That was what I was gauging on, and I think some of you, there's a group of you that need to hear this. Maybe one of you. It doesn't matter. Maybe there's a sentence you need to hear. These swords need to stop. This has to stop. This is not helping you. And this being unhappy with what you have right now, towards the end, you're going to feel silly because this is what's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, my life is cruel. And maybe you have had cruel things happen to you, but is it happening right now? That is the question. You see, if you look, I don't know if it'll pick it up on this, but in the Thoth picture here, they sometimes have these little geometric shapes, sacred geometry. And these swords, they've been plunged in quite deeply, because you can see where the blood goes in. But then you can also see where they cut around, the shape in which they cut through the air, that energy left behind. Look at the little ones, little. So this is the kind of thing, like, some of you have anxiety, some of you are not able to get through and look past the swords you've surrounded yourself with, and you're not able to see that 8 of Cups is not bad. And keep the hope alive this time, because you know what? The 2 of Cups is right here. It's right there. It's right there, buddy. It's right there. That's awesome. So, up here we get the Knight of Discs. So what that says for me, and then you get the Princess of Discs. There's a lot of new energy here, a lot of newness too. You're trying to, or perhaps this person that's, for you singles, this person that's coming through is young and fairly spirited, and yeah. So, I mean, I think I might pull a couple more cards here. I usually don't try and mix too many cards, but I'm going to use the Osho Zen Tarot and just go by the images and what comes up for me. Sometimes I need a little more stimulation from images, and I can see a little more. And a little bit more. Gotcha. Okay, so I understand now. All right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. And what was the bottom of the deck? I didn't plan this. The Fool. Dun dun dun. I think that's the energy that needs to be taken. You need to let go a bit, Aries. You need to just let it go. Let it go. You're clinging too hard. And look at all the stars surrounding you. Look at the stars and how they shine for you. Come on. Come on. Like, this is ridiculous. There's some of you that are not seeing. Happens to all of us, though. We all do not realize the blessings that we have. This is not like, but in this sense, in a romantic situation that some of you are in. So we got the Knight of Discs, and that does mean slowing down. So maybe you got to slow your roll on the judgment stuff, and slowing down might be a good thing too if you're trying to, because right here you have the Knight of Wands and you're getting a little jumpy. But so I think this is kind of a little sign that slowing down might be a good idea. Slowing down just a little bit. If you are already slowed down, then perhaps this Knight of Wands is here to jolt you and wake you up. But you get a bit more complacent, though, later on, because here's an offering, and you're like, this comes out of nowhere. I don't want this. Literally, it's a cup that comes out of nowhere. It's a cloud with an arm outstretched. Kind of spooky, actually. But seriously, though, I mean, there's an offering from the universe. There's something for you there. And look at all the mouths in that image. All of those little mouths, those are all the little voices that we have in our head that are driving us crazy. And you have the isolation card when I looked at the moon. You have an offering, but you're choosing to look away and wait for something else. And it's isolation. So it's so weird because looking at it, I mean, the spread is pretty good. There's some, annoying spots here and there. But these are brilliant cards. However, the way they're reading and the way that they have been placed, it's bringing out something that, has to be worked on. So, we got the Two of Cups again to confirm that. We mentioned that already. And for the Knight of Wands, I mean, I think clinging to the past and this part of the Princess of Discs, the beginnings of letting go of the past. Let's call it that. The beginnings of you changing your energy. It's been a long time coming. You changing your energy and slowing down, slowing your roll on or telling someone else and being very clear with your boundaries about the judgment that they're passing on you and how that hurts you. Maybe that's not something you want someone to say to you. It's not kind. Does it come from a place of love or does it come from a place of fear? Does it come from a place of love? Or does it come from a place of fear? Ask yourself that, okay? So this person's energy seems very different than yours. So this feels like a person that's entering and you're just not amused by it. So I don't know. If it speaks to you, let me know and we can do a reading and go deeper. If not, check your rising sign. And check also where Venus is on your chart, because that can kind of help too. So getting back to here. Well, don't isolate yourself and think that, and lose faith. Don't lose the faith, because your love is there. And try and find that playfulness inside of you to take it differently. Yeah, loosen up, lighten up. It's okay. Don't do it to the point where it has. I know that you like things to be very. You want it your way. But sometimes maybe your way has some healing to do before you actually know what your way actually is. Sometimes you don't really know what you want until you've grown out of what you don't want. You got that maybe? You get it? Maybe? Kind of? So, I'm just going to go ahead and pick some cards here just for a little warm advice. Some warm words to close up shop here. And as far as the moon goes for this here, I think this has to do with the timing of it. So that's what comes up for me. And it's, ooh. I'll do that. Why not? Let's see what they say. Hope is a conduit for miracles. Something's telling me it's like I might make that the title of this video. Keep the hope alive. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. Yeah. Okay. Oh. And I find deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. So, yeah, that's uncomfortable. Yeah, like not being too impressed, but don't you're thinking like too little, too late. No, it's coming up. It's coming up. So I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. And it's wonderful how the moons are showing there. I really feel like pay attention to the moon. You got to pay attention to the moon. Maybe check your moon sign, or if this is your moon sign, or see what's happened, in your life thus far on the timeline, And in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. I'll read that again. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. And just for closing, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. So these were made by Hay House. They're written by Gabrielle Bernstein, and then there's another artist that I can't remember her name, but when I get around to making the little edits and tidying up my page and putting in more information there, if you're interested in knowing more about what decks I'm using, just go ahead and let me know. If this resonated with you, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe and join me. It'll be great to do these general readings, and if you want a private reading, please contact me. The information is below. Truly appreciate your time, and be good to you, be kind to you, so you can be good to others. All right, take care now, Aries. Bye now.